Most Spanish learners get confused by the verb llevar because it doesn't just mean to carry like you might think it does. But here's the thing. Llevar is one of the most versatile verbs in Spanish, and once you understand its key uses, you're going to start hearing it everywhere. If you don't master this verb, you might end up sounding awkward or you might confuse others when you speak. And that can be really frustrating. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 9 most common ways to use llevar. We'll start with the most basic meanings first and build up from there, so that by the end you'll know exactly how to use llevar like a native speaker. Now, if you don't know me, my name's Josh and I'm a qualified language teacher. Over the last 10 years, I've learned Spanish to fluency and I've helped thousands of people learn Spanish through my online course here on YouTube. Okay, so let's get into the first use of the Spanish verb llevar. For the first use of this verb, we'll start with the most basic and literal meaning of llevar, which is to carry. So llevar means to carry something from one place to another. So this could be a bag, a box, some shopping, or anything that you physically move. For example, llevo una caja grande. I'm carrying a big box. Or, ¿puedes llevar estas bolsas por mí? Can you carry these bags for me? Llevar covers anything you pick up and move. If it goes from one place to another in your hands, you're using llevar. Now, it's mostly used for objects, but it can also include people. So if you're carrying a baby, for example, you could say, llevo al bebé en brazos. I'm carrying the baby in my arms. So whether it's in your arms, your hands, or even if it's strapped to your back and you're taking it somewhere, llevar is the verb you need. Okay, so let's now move on to the second use of llevar, and it's another really common one. This time it means to take someone somewhere. It could be in a car, on foot, or on a bike. It doesn't matter. If you're helping someone get from one place to another, you're using llevar. For example, llevo a mis hijos al parque. I'm taking my kids to the park. Or, ¿puedes llevarme al aeropuerto? Can you take me to the airport? Now, of course, it's not about physically carrying the person. This use of llevar is just about being the one who gets them there. You're guiding them, driving them, or simply accompanying them. And you're the reason that they arrive. So, one more example could be, mi hermano me llevó al médico. My brother took me to the doctor. So whenever you're giving someone a lift, offering to drop them off, or helping them reach a place, llevar is the verb that you need. Okay, so the third use of llevar is another very common one. This time llevar is used to talk about wearing something. This usually means clothes, accessories, or even hairstyles. Here, when you use llevar, you're saying you carry something on your body. For example, lleva una camisa azul. He's wearing a blue shirt. Or, ¿siempre llevas gafas? Do you always wear glasses? This way of using llevar is really common in Spanish. So whether you're describing your outfit or asking someone about someone else's, llevar is the verb to choose. Now, one thing to keep in mind, a sentence like lleva una camisa azul could mean either he's wearing a blue shirt or he's carrying a blue shirt. Now, to make it clear that you mean that someone is actually wearing something, you can add the adjective puesto or puesta, depending on the gender. Now, you do this after the verb. Or if the item is plural, like a pair of gloves, for example, you'd use puestos or puestas to match the number and gender of the clothing. So, for example, you could say, lleva una camisa azul puesta. He's wearing a blue shirt. Adding puesto or puesta isn't required, but it helps avoid any confusion about whether the item is being worn or just carried. Okay, so for the fourth must-know use of llevar, we have one of the most natural ways to say how long you've been doing something. And the formula to do this is the verb llevar plus the time it's taken plus the gerund form of another verb. For example, llevo 6 meses estudiando español. I've been studying Spanish for 6 months. Or, llevamos toda la tarde hablando. We've been talking all afternoon. It's the most common structure in everyday conversation, and it sounds much more natural than using the literal translation from English. Now, the literal translation from English into Spanish would be He estado estudiando español durante 6 meses. Now, grammatically, he estado estudiando español durante 6 meses is totally acceptable in Spanish. You can say that. But there's a subtle difference from the original English, I've been studying Spanish for 6 months. To a Spanish speaker, the he estado construction implies that the action may have recently stopped, or that it's been interrupted, or that it's about to end. It gives more of a situational update, as if you're reporting that you've been studying Spanish up until now, but something is changing. Now, in contrast, if we use the verb llevar plus time plus gerund formula to say it, as in llevo 6 meses estudiando español, that sounds much more ongoing and uninterrupted. It emphasizes the length of time the action has been happening and that it's still continuing. That's why llevar plus time plus gerund is the go-to structure in everyday Spanish when you want to talk about how long you've been doing something and that you're still doing it. Now, if you're enjoying this video, then you should definitely check out the free PDF that I created to accompany it. It contains all the 9 key uses of llevar with clear examples and extra practice sentences so you can review them anytime. And if you want to practice verbs like llevar and many other common Spanish structures, check out my Spanish short stories book for beginners. The stories in the book are especially designed with simple, repetitive Spanish so you can see verbs like llevar used in real context, which will help you to build confidence and understanding. Now, to download the PDF or to purchase the book, check out the links in the description. Okay, so let's now look at the 5th use of llevar. This time we're talking about something very useful in everyday life, expressing age differences between people. When you want to say that someone is older than someone else by a certain number of days, weeks, months or years, llevar is the verb that you use. For example, le llevo 5 años a mi hermana. I'm 5 years older than my sister. Or, ¿cuántos años le llevas a tu pareja? How many years older are you than your partner? And le llevo 3 meses a mi primo. I'm 3 months older than my cousin. This use is simple but very common, especially when talking about family or friends. To express an age difference, you say llevar followed by the amount of time, then you mention the person you're making the comparison with. So whenever you want to talk about who's older and by how much, llevar is the verb that you need to choose. For the 6th use of llevar, we're talking about how to say that something contains or includes certain ingredients or parts. This is really handy when you're talking about food, recipes, or even products. When we say llevar means to have or to include, what we really mean here is that it means to contain, like what's inside a dish or what component something has. For example, ¿Qué lleva esta pizza? What does this pizza have on it? Or in other words, what toppings does this pizza contain? Or you could say, La ensalada lleva tomate, pepino y cebolla. The salad has tomato, cucumber and onion. Or in other words, the salad contains tomato, cucumber and onion. And one other example is, ¿Esta sopa lleva fideos? Does this soup have noodles in it? Or in other words, does this soup contain noodles? Now it's important to note that llevar doesn't only apply to food. You can also use it to describe parts or features in other things like products or objects. For example, el auto lleva un sistema de navegación. The car has a navigation system. Or in other words, the car contains a navigation system. This shows how llevar can describe what parts or features something has. So next time you want to ask or say what something contains, remember to use llevar. Now before we get on to the reflexive uses of llevar, for the seventh use, we're going to move on to a slightly more advanced but very useful meaning, which is llevar a. This means to lead to or to result in something. This is perfect when you're talking about causes and consequences, one thing leading to another. Think of it as showing the path from A to B. For example, esto puede llevar a problemas. This can lead to problems. Or, la falta de comunicación llevó al fracaso del proyecto. The lack of communication led to the project's failure. For this meaning, it's important to remember that it's llevar a with the preposition a attached. The a connects llevar to the result or consequence that follows. Without the preposition a, the meaning changes or becomes unclear. So whenever you need to say one thing led to or resulted in another, use llevar a. Okay, so for the eighth use of llevar, we're shifting to its reflexive form, which is llevarse. When paired with the adverbs bien or mal, it's a very common way to talk about relationships, how people do or don't get along. Llevarse bien means to get along well, and llevarse mal means to not get along or to get along badly. For example, me llevo bien con mis compañeros de trabajo. I get along well with my co-workers. Or, se llevan mal con sus vecinos desde hace años. Literally, they have gotten along badly with their neighbours for years. Or of course you could say they haven't gotten along with their neighbours for years. And one more example, no se llevan nada bien. They don't get along at all. So anytime you want to describe how people click or clash, llevarse bien and llevarse mal are your go-to phrases. Okay, so for the ninth must-know use, we're still using the reflexive form llevarse, but this time it means to take something away, often with the idea of stealing or making off with it. It implies that something has been taken for personal use, usually without permission. This meaning is very common in everyday conversation, and it's not just for serious theft. You can even use it if someone simply walks off with your pen. So, for example, se llevaron todo el dinero. They stole all the money. Or, el ladrón se llevó todas las joyas de la casa. The thief made off with all the jewelry from the house. Or, for something less serious, ¿Quién se llevó mi bolígrafo? Who took my pen? Now this is a handy and expressive way to talk about someone snatching something, whether it's something small, valuable, or just plain annoying. Now, remember at the start of this video when I said that llevar isn't just to carry, and that if you don't really get it, you can end up sounding a little awkward. Well, now you've got 9 really useful ways to use llevar, from carrying and taking people places to talking about time, relationships, and even stealing. But here's the thing, just watching this one video won't make you use llevar easily in real conversations. And that's why I put together my beginner Spanish course. It helps you take verbs like llevar and actually build real sentences from day one, so you can speak with confidence instead of second guessing yourself. If you're ready to finally get comfortable with verbs like llevar and stop feeling stuck when trying to make sentences, my course will guide you step by step. You can start for free right here on YouTube. Just click the video thumbnail that's on your screen now or use the link in the description to get started. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again really soon.